Welcome back. I'm Kim Bailey. She's Fulyana Osborne, and this is Inside Exec. And I'm amused at the moment because the topic today, session 5 for our workplace series for 2021, is about selecting resources from online providers. And my amusement is that herself will have very little to say because selecting things online, apart from food or clothing, is probably not in her line of expertise, screwing up her nose, but I'm sure she'll still have something to say. There'll be a viewpoint that she can express with passion. What I wanted to cover, because in this series we've talked about you in the workplace in microcosm really, and made it a series because they're all very interlinked topics. So this last one, because of the way we are working these days, there might be opportunity in your organisation for you to outsource activities using online service providers. These are places like Fiverr, a holding bay for professional services. So you can get music written, you can have video or audio translated into text documents, you can have artwork done, voiceovers. There's just a whole range of things that can be done by people who only do that one thing. So you're going to a specialist marketplace. So how do you choose, given that there is an overwhelming number of resources in those places? Now, I know this because I've used them for a number of years. And for those of you who enjoy our intro music to the podcast, that is where the music came from. I chose a particular composer through Fiverr, and I'll put his link at the bottom because I know that the music is very popular and I've had him write other bits of music for other things that I do. And it's just a joy to have a piece of music for me that has been written especially for me, or for what I want it done for. And it was an easy process once I had selected him, I will say. Now, the selection process, the choosing process is what I want to talk about today. No different to any other recruitment. What you will get on these platforms is someone selling their services the same as you would with any other consultant or contractor. And you have to determine what the fit is for what you want to what they're providing. Now, there's a few things you can filter it with automatically in those systems, but there's other things where really only the conversation between you will determine what's going to happen. That is if you go in and you look individually. The other thing you can do is you can put a job up and people will search for it and they will send you all their responses. So if I deal with that one first, if you put a job up, same as any other advertising for a job, you'll be flooded with applications. And so you need to have already in place the way that you're going to decide and filter who it is that you want to have a second look at and see examples of their work, whatever else it is that you do in that process that will help you make your decision. The very best system that I have found, and it wasn't my system, it was one that was shown to me, and I thought it's a great way of filtering these people, because a lot of it is automatic, as it is with any other recruiting software that it gets used around, is that you ask them 3 questions, and the first 2 questions are related to the work that's being done. And the third question is, what did you have for breakfast? Now, the number of automatic responses that come back that have an answer to that is nothing to do with breakfast will give you an indication that you're getting an automatic response. So it's just someone who's put in, whenever there's 3 questions, I answer these things. But if you get someone who talks about what they had for breakfast, then you know that a person has read the job post, and so you're more likely to want to interact with them and ask them a few more detailed questions in the next part of the exercise. My recommendation for you, if you're going to go the way of putting up a job and letting the applications come to you, make sure you ask questions where only a person could answer, that it couldn't be just an automated response where they can just say, my experience is this, I've done these jobs, or look at this link to know more about me. But if you're going to go the other way of trawling through all of the opportunities that are there and choosing someone, then once again, as with any selection here, have very specific idea of what you want, how much you want to pay, what sort of a result you want. So if I use the artwork as an example, you will have people who will offer the artwork in all sorts of different formats. So be very clear about what sort of format you want in the finished product and how many revisions you're prepared to make. I got caught out, as you do in these systems, with the logo artwork that we used to have, an original logo artwork that they had for Inside Exec, which was the blue background with the people. The person that I chose for that, I neglected to see how many revisions. When the first artwork came through, I wasn't happy with it. I wanted some things changed, and that was going to be an extra cost. And I thought, well, it's just not worth it. But the logo that we have now, the person that did that gave me two completely different alternatives, and we were able to choose between them, and we had one revision of whichever one we chose got revised a second time, refined a second time. So that was a much better outcome. I was much more adept at choosing them in the ensuing 4 or 5 years. I probably talked long enough about this initial start, but it's about approaching it no differently to the way you would any other recruitment, having very clear idea of what you want as the outcome, and then deciding whether you want to choose the person or whether you want them to come to you.
Don't have any experience with that. You're right.
I'm going to stop you having an opinion, though.
No, but I can relate to it. For example, if you want a tradesman, you don't have to go looking for one and yourself. You can go to one organization and they will source the trades that you're after. But again, the principle apply in that, not just the human and non-human, but it's also about looking for the quality. You still got to be responsible to the sort of person you want and not what they're trying to give you. Within that, I've also know there's organization that'll be specific about getting a small business and in, say, in the construction industry, and you're looking to get an apprentice who's a carpenter or an electrician or whatever. Again, they will help you, but you've got to be very, very clear about the sort of person you want in the first place, so you're not just filling in positions and you're actually getting the right match for your company.
The other thing with these forums and opportunities is that each of the people who are offering their services will have a rating, and that rating is determined by the number of jobs they've done, by the number of reviews they get back. And as with any review system, I would recommend you don't read the 5-star ones because they're going to be glowing, you know that. You don't read the 1-star ones because they're people who are unhappy for whatever reason, and maybe they always give a negative response or not happy with the world in general. You read the middle of the road. You read the 3-star ones to see what it is that kept people's opinion at that middle of the road. And if what they're saying in the words are things that you would find acceptable, then these people move on to your potentials list. But if they're saying in those words they're things that you wouldn't be happy with, that would be deal breakers for you. And often that will be the case, that they don't want to give a negative rating in the star system, but they will say in the words things that would make you think, well, no, that's probably not the right mix for me. Again, it's a filter. It's a way of you telling. But read the reviews. Increasingly, these people have videos, so you can have a look at examples of their work and you can hear them talking about their work and you get a sense of the person as well. And so that all of that comes into it. It is a recruitment process, bottom line. You do need to do your homework first. It's not the easy answer. It's not I'll go in there and there'll be someone that'll fix it all, because there are literally thousands of people on there offering services. So you have to have some way of determining what it is you want and who it is you want. That wraps up our workplace series for this time around. I will put all of the other episodes on each of these ones in the series so that you can flick back and forwards to hear what we've had to say. But for now, I'm Kim Bailey. She's Fulyana Osborne. This is Inside Exec.